Good morning, Lisa here. So today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different, when sex gets boring. Okay, it is a difficult thing to talk about, but it is something that so many people in loving, committed relationships are dealing with and not talking about because it is awkward. And when I talk about sex being boring, I'm not saying that you're no longer swinging from the chandeliers and grabbing a quickie in the cupboard every time you see each other. I'm talking about just feeling stale, awkward, robotic, mundane. And when sex starts to feel like that, it can actually be a little bit embarrassing and you just lose a connection and it's just awkward. Okay, so sex does get boring after a while in many relationships. And it's because life really does get in the way. You're stressed, you're busy being a mother, and sometimes the feeling of the mothering role makes you feel like you can't be that sexy person anymore either, if that was something that used to be in your relationship. Becoming a mother can kind of turn that switch off. Or maybe you just feel like you're not that kind of woman. That's not how you were brought up, that's not how you were encouraged to behave, and maybe a kind of label has been put on those sexual women that they're a slut maybe, or it's just not something that you aspire to, especially if you're a career woman and you've got so many other things going on that sex just doesn't feel important to you. Not only that, maybe you feel insecure about your body or your abilities and you just feel embarrassed, like, you don't want to dress up and initiate sex. It just feels awkward. And so it can leave you feeling like it's just something that has to be done every so often. You kind of have to give it up. You know that it's important, but you just kind of go through the motions and it just ends up literally feeling like a chore, and it's awkward for both of you. Neither of you are getting anything out of it. So what can you do when that happens? Because when that does start to happen and you admit it to yourself, it's really, really hard to go back. It's really hard to feel where can you take the power actually and move on, because now this is how you do it. You do it at this time of the day, once a month or twice a month, and this is what you wear and this is the position, and you just kind of get it over and done with. So how can you get out of that? Okay, well, one way is to re-look at your own personal relationship with pleasure and whether you actually feel guilty about experiencing pleasure in your day. And I'm not talking about sex now. I'm just talking about your to-do list and the productivity and all of the things that you think you have to do and all of the people that you have to please and all of the roles that you take on, being a mother and a cook and a partner and a wife and cleaning and cooking and working, and there's always something to do. So yesterday I spoke about budgeting your time, and this is why, because you need to take time out to enjoy things and to enjoy life, because actually that is why we're alive. That's why you pay the bills, so that you can enjoy life. Being alive is not only about ticking things off of your to-do list. So if you find that you actually feel guilty when you take a break, then that is when you know that there's a problem. You deserve to take a break, because above everything else, above being a mother and all of the other roles, you are a red-blooded woman and you deserve to experience pleasure. And when you start to feel open to that again, when you're open to enjoying life and taking pleasure in the small things, you will find that you will start to think about sex differently. It won't be so robotic. It won't be just another thing on your to-do list to check off, something else that you feel pressured to do and to perform. It will be about yourself and your pleasure again. So yes, don't worry about what people think of you, what other people will think if they'll disapprove if you're a sexual woman, because we're all women, we all have these needs. So just give yourself a break. Stop worrying about what they think. Stop judging other women too. Nobody has it all together. And everybody puts a ton of pressure on themselves, and a lot of it is self-imposed. It's not necessary to do all of the things on your to-do list, I bet, and not to the standard that you want to do them. Give yourself a break, remember what's important, and what's important is living, and not only enjoying life, but if you are a mother, showing your children how to enjoy life and showing them what's important too. Because if they see you as this woman who just is running around like a headless chicken, constantly doing things, stressed, pressured, and allowing everything to get on top of her, then that's what they're going to learn. And if you have daughters, that's what they're going to learn is important. That's what they will value in themselves, instead of being the sensual person. And I know you're busy and I know you do have things to do, but it really is important to just make some space for pleasure Take pleasures like vitamins to counteract the stress that you're dealing with. Small things, making a cup of tea, enjoying a book, and running a bath, all of those little self-love tips and tricks is the first step to just reevaluating and repositioning pleasure in your life. And believe it or not, that will go a long way towards creating a sex life that is no longer boring. Because when you feel confident in yourself and you feel connected to enjoying pleasure again, when you don't feel guilty for taking time out, and when you can really experience pleasure from that place within you that just cannot wait to have multiple orgasms, actually. I hope you're not at work if you're listening to this. Only when you allow yourself the space to really enjoy life and to really enjoy pleasure without feeling guilty, that's when you are going to be able to bring another aspect of yourself to the bedroom and the cupboard and the garden and the kitchen. And believe me, you are so worth it and you so deserve it. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about this. But today I just wanted to tell you, sex gets boring when you feel like you don't deserve pleasure. That is the bottom line. And I'm just telling you that you do. You totally do deserve pleasure. So take a break, reevaluate, cut out the things that are not important, stop being so tough on yourself, and be a role model for the young women and the daughters in our lives and show them what's really important. Okay, well, I hope that was useful. Have a wonderful day and I will chat to you tomorrow.